Emerson. Today is Thursday, March 19th. Hope everyone is settling back into school. On today's show, we have Terry Stackhouse, and he'll be giving us some highlights in the Celtics' big win last night.
And we'll be checking in with Lindsay Alston, who will be giving us the backstage pass to a movie turned musical here in the Boston Opera. Hi, everybody. I'm Natalie Beamer.
And I'm Ben Hicks.
Welcome to the show.
We have a very interesting show today for you.
Yes, we actually have Marcos Santos and his band here. They're going to be doing some Afro-Brazilian drumming for us later on in the show.
Cannot wait.
Yes.
But first, we have some very interesting news.
Yes.
Apparently, a guy named Mr. Jalava was motorcycling the other day, and not the other day, but a few weeks ago, and got in a horrible accident, hit a deer, and he got his left ring finger amputated.
Well, it sounds a little peculiar, but I mean, nonetheless, nobody wants to have their finger amputated or...
I sure don't.
But he has taken it to a whole new level, and he designs technology and things like that, and he made a USB finger.
Yeah, now his left ring finger is a USB cable, the USB little stick.
Yeah, which is such a good idea if you think about it.
And it was actually based off a joke that the doctors made when they were examining him. They were like, "Oh, you should put a USB little stick on your finger," and he was like, "Well, that sounds like a good idea for my career." And
I looked more into it, and I was like, "Well, can the finger be detached? Because it might be super awkward to like sit in the computer lab with your finger in the computer." But
and how do you type?
No, yeah, you can actually take off the USB finger and plug it in.
And I guess he stores his computer programming things on it.
But I mean, but if you think about it, it's just taking a tragedy and medical advancements to a whole new level and joining them with technology.
Exactly. And this may be kind of a forefront of other people doing that.
Yeah.
Like losing their arm, well, might as well put a machine gun there or something like that.
Something really interesting like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a little too far. But,
or a spatula if you're, working at home.
A cook or something. But yeah, so this was a very interesting story, but I think the real victim in this case is the deer.
The deer.
The deer. The poor deer died, and nobody cares about it. But you know what? Now we're going to switch it over to Jack Lepiarz for an update on this past week's news stories, including the most important story. Facebook has changed, Jack?
Again.
Again?
Well, our big story today is, of course, the AIG bonuses. In the past week, the troubled financial giant has come under fire for handing out nearly $200 million in bonuses to its executives. AIG, for the record, is 80% owned by the government. Now, AIG executive Edward Liddy went before Congress yesterday to defend those bonuses. Liddy says they need to keep them to keep employees from leaving the company. Because, of course, we wouldn't want the same people who drove AIG from a stock price of $50 down to just 33 cents to leave. No, no, no. We need these men to stay. Never mind that they took one of the world's largest financial institutions and effectively drove it into the ground so much that it would have disappeared from the face of the earth, costing thousands, if not millions of people their life savings, if not for $170 billion in government aid, nearly double this year's budget in the war of Iraq. No, sir. These men are the chosen saviors of the company, here to lead AIG back to its rightful place as the leading financial institution in the country, if not the world. Of course, each congressman and woman has their own take on this scandal, but one man, Representative Charles Grassley of Iowa, went above and beyond. Now, he said executives from AIG should follow the Japanese model and resign, apologize, and/or commit suicide. Props to you, Congressman, for saying what we're all thinking. Then the Facebook group, 1 Million People Against the New Facebook, has over 260,000 members. Now, what does this tell us? Well, last week, Facebook users were hit with a sudden change, and for many of us, a dire one. Suddenly, the old new Facebook, which many of us hated in the beginning, suddenly and without warning, or actually about a week of warnings, changed, suddenly resembling the microblogging site Twitter. Now, many people are threatening to cancel their accounts, and if they actually follow this through this time, of course, after threatening to do so when the mini feed came out and the old new Facebook came out, and now the Twitter book version that just came out this year, could actually accomplish little to nothing. So here's to microblogging on the #1 social networking site in the world. And for our weekly Why Is This News segment, well, I was going to do something about the media storm surrounding Nadia Suleiman moving into her new house, but really, who cares about Octomom anymore, except for Pat Lambert? So instead, we're looking at one Chinese man who says he can make the perfect bra just by looking at a woman's breasts. You see, I don't think this is news because I happen to have the same ability. In fact, I think if you ask most men, they'll all tell you that they can make the perfect bra if you just, well, Ben, Natalie, back to you.
Thank you very much, Jack.
You're welcome. Ben, you have that ability, right?
Anyway, well, thank you, Jack. Now it's time to throw it outside to Kelsey to see what rain is going to be hitting us this weekend. Oh. Kelsey.
Good morning, Emerson. I hope everyone's having a great week with the fantastic spring weather we've been experiencing. Unfortunately for us, the spring weather is not carrying over into the weekend, but don't worry, nothing too cold, nothing below 40 degrees. Right now we're experiencing some 47-degree weather, which is going to stay pretty constant throughout the day, possibly with some rain as the day continues. I'll let you guys know what it's going to look like for the next 5 days and for your weekend. Tomorrow's going to be partly cloudy with temperatures a bit cooler than what we're feeling today with a high of 41 in the afternoon. Saturday's looking a little sunnier, temperatures hitting as high as 47. Sunday will climb up a little higher, just shy of 50 degrees with possibly some clouds. Next Monday's going to continue the trend set by the rest of the weekend, going up to about 48 degrees during the day and cooling down to about 28 at night. Have an amazing weekend, everybody. I'll see you right back here on Tuesday. Back to you in the studio, Ben and Natalie.
Thank you, Kelsey. It's time for our first commercial break, but when we come back, Terry Stackhouse will be unraveling the Atlantic Division Final for us.
And make sure you stay tuned for today's big performance at the end of the show. Stick around.